Perfect. Perfect. So hello, ladies. I just want to share this with everyone. I went into the dollar store yesterday because when you work in this industry, right? Well, good morning, everyone. First, I'm Felicia Saraceno, one of your Productive Aging Collective coaches here. And I'm located in beautiful, well, cloudy today, Southwest Florida. So I went into the dollar store yesterday because I keep a stack full of sympathy cards in my house. And when you work in this industry, you have to, unfortunately. But as I was walking through with my daughter, I saw this. And it is a handy dandy little journal. Came in three colors: black, like a light brown, and gray. And it's $3. I thought that was a great deal, especially because I beat my stuff up and I go through notepads like crazy. So I had to buy this, and there was only one of each color left. I would have gotten the brown one, but the brown one, all the pages were torn inside. So I guess I'll have to go to another Dollar Tree. But it's interesting stuff you find there. It has a little tassel on the bottom. It was adorable. All right. So, good morning. Who wants to start off by sharing a win? We heard Cindy has a new listing coming up. So, I'm looking forward to her being able to share that listing so that we can promote her listing all over. And that's what I want us to be able to do is as a community, share each other's listings, promote each other. You never know who's on your social, who's looking in her area, my area, your area, whatever the case may be. You just never know. We're all 5 degrees of separation of each other. So does anyone else have any other wins that they would like to share? I'm just going to switch my screen for a second so I can get to my notes. Nothing else happened? I know that Tina Ray, she's not on today, but giving her a little shout out. She did an expo yesterday. It was her first one. And I think she ripped the Band-Aid off and is ready to host tons of them now. Once you get into the groove of doing them, they're not so scary. They're actually very fun. And so I'm really proud of her for doing that. She asked a lot of questions as to what to bring, what items. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. All right. So upcoming expos and events. So how many of you know that you have either a senior health fair, an expo, something going on in your neighborhood? Anyone have anything like that happening? Anyone know of anything like that happening in your area? You could just shout it
I
out.
just signed up for one that's October 7th, I think. So,
Awesome.
but just as an attendee, they were completely full on, but it gives me a frame of reference. Like go as an
Absolutely. And if you haven't
attendee
been to one,
first. Yeah.
that's a great thing to do if you haven't been to one, because it's important for you to see what they look like. And then that gives you ideas because when I worked in senior living, every single fall we had a health fair and we had blood pressure clinic, memory screens, all of our vendors which would come. There was typically a small fee to be a part of it because we gave money back to a nonprofit that was local, regardless if that was the Alzheimer's Association, Naples Interagency, something that was there to support seniors in our market. And if you don't have anything in your market, what a great opportunity to go to one of your reciprocal partners, your senior living communities, and say, how can we do this? How can we showcase your beautiful community by offering a free health fair? Come and get information, non-salesy, non-pressure, for them to experience your gorgeous community, which is like a cruise ship on land. And I'm sure, 99% sure, that they would say, yes, let's do it. You do need about a 6 to 8 week lead time. You have to get vendors. You have to have a minimum, I would say, of 10 vendors, but depending on their space that they're going to have it, um, we've had like a registration table, someone gave bags. Sometimes the registration fee that you paid helped to go towards bags with everyone's logo on it, on those little reusable tote bags, you know? So that was another takeaway where they could put stuff in it, your rack cards or your promo items. Be careful not to be too trick or treaty, but it still is a great way to showcase your what you do in your product. And so having these kind of opportunities, even there's the builder home shows as
Mhm.
well. They're doing a lot of age in place options and the lifestyle expos that are happening right now, which do attract older homeowners and their adult children. These are all great opportunities. I know down here, we also have a huge veterans expo, huge, like 1,000 people go to it, and it fills
We
up like super fast.
we are having a para volleyball tournament and it's national. And we are, I volunteered, but my AARP people that I was actually just speaking with them this morning. I'm trying to get them involved. So it's yeah. So we are super duper excited and it is going to be huge. And I'm just super glad that we get to be a part of it.
Yes, yes. Now, someone here locally created something that my board wants to do. And it is, I think it's hysterical, and I think it could be really, really fun. But it was communities, home care, home health, any company had a team for dodgeball tournament. Now, why I
Mhm.
think that's
Love
hysterical,
it.
I just see like a ton of injuries happening because the average age of our workers is probably in the mid 50s right now. So they would dress up as a theme, each team. And there was a company who did one locally and they raised $6,000 doing it. It was a huge hit. Okay. Huge. Um, I'm just like safety first, right? Safety first, which I think is hysterical. Yes, Cindy, I see your hand is raised.
Okay, it is so great that you brought up the whole fair because I have a form right here. My community that I live in, my city, is having a Living Well resource fair. I applied for it and sent my money in. Actually, I had to walk it in, and they said, "I'm not sure if you're a good fit for this fair." And I'm like, well, talk to me about that because it's targeting seniors. And they said, well, it's not necessarily targeting seniors. It ends up being a lot of seniors. But the other things that are happening are blood pressure checks, glucose screening, health screening, cognitive screening, food and supplements. And they just felt like my, assisting seniors with their home transitions was not a good fit for this fair. They want me to revisit that and come back with like a different spin. So,
So are they saying that you're targeting a demographic?
no, they're saying that this is wellness and they don't see how homes, house, real estate, housing transitions fits into wellness.
That's really simple. You're going to chat GPT. You're going to go on to chat GPT and utilize
Yeah.
chat GPT for this. You're going to put in the name of that organization, your
Hmm.
area.
Hmm.
Okay. This is how you use these tools to your
Hmm.
advantage.
Okay.
You're also going to use the stat that only 6% of the nationwide homes are appropriate for aging in place,
Hmm.
and that our seniors need a lot of retrofitting with their homes. So by them not helping or not allowing you entrance is actually discriminating against what is it? Equal fair housing. Please,
Hmm.
everyone,
Fair
refresh
housing.
my.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hmm.
I was like, I always mix those up. Sometimes
Yeah.
I'm a little dyslexic, but I would put that in, but then
Hmm.
have Chat GPT add in your local stats. And that's how
Hmm.
you combat someone. You combat someone like that with numbers and raw data
Okay.
and let them know that you're here to help provide a service because right now And this is another stat that you're going to have to look up. How many people annually are moving into senior living? If it's
And it's great.
if
Yeah.
it's 1 in 20 people, whatever that stat is, they have a
Mhm.
long-time home to sell. And I
Right.
specialize in this. And so, telling me that I'm not allowed entry, this is part of their entire wellness package of moving in because
Mhm.
mentally they have to offload this home and declutter it.
Right. And what's really interesting is in 4 weeks, I'm making a presentation to our city council about the need for more affordable senior housing. And we also have a new development area that they're having, yeah, to push to have part of that designated as senior housing. So I've got all the local stats already. So that'll be easy.
Just put that into a pretty little button up thing.
Yeah.
And then from there, you're able to really combat their thinking. So they have a limited belief thinking.
Oh, for sure.
And so you have to overcome that. Ladies and gentlemen, we will get this our whole entire life.
Yeah.
Sometimes it catches us by surprise, while other times it's easy to think off the top of your head. So just remember that at the end of the day, you're not selling dog food or dog
Right.
treats, which probably wouldn't work, right? For
Right.
that. But you're helping with a service for them.
Mhm.
Now, even if you were selling dog treats, if you had a business where you were walking a senior's pet 3 times a day for added extra service for them, that is how that would make that appropriate.
Right.
So I'm sorry that happened to you, but that happens all the time.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
want you to think that it's unnormal. It's really normal. Yeah.
Mhm.
But it's just educating them. Throw those stats out at them. That'll
Yeah.
help. Yeah, absolutely. And how many of you have had the opportunity to sponsor an event, a booth, whatever the case may be, in your market this year so far? So a couple of you? Okay. And how many of you had done any speaking events this year? Okay. So this is the time of year where we are going to be looking forward for the next year on what you're going to do to accomplish your goals. The easiest way to identify yourself as a leading educated authority on working with seniors in this niche is speaking engagements.
I'm
If you
actually doing one at the end of the month. Um,
perfect,
falls
perfect,
regarding falls and home safety. So a little
perfect.
nervous,
I
a little
love it.
excited.
Awesome. Now, I love that because this is amazing. It's right up our alley. Make a goal. We're going to be doing a business planning clinic, but start thinking in your mind how many you want to do a quarter. If you're not used to doing them, start out with 1 a quarter, right? Some sort of an event that you're doing, some sort of speaking engagement event. 1 a quarter for a speaking event. 1 where you're sponsoring an event. You have to be engaged and you can't be a secret agent. So we have to start getting into that mindset that our calendars are planned in advance. Now, one of the things that's happening for our members that I just, Rose is putting out this week, is I have, with the healthcare observances calendar, what you should focus on each week, who you should doing referral pop buys, and then 3 options: budget, mid-priced, and expensive bougie items to bring around to those people. And when you start out with doing this, these referral pop buys, start out with doing, 3 to 5 a week. If you don't have many to do, if you only have 2, you do 2. And these are your reciprocal referrals that you're working with or people who you want to partner with. And the referral Popeye idea is just a cute way for you to engage with them. And then beyond engaging, your goal is to be able to set a meeting, an intentional meeting with them. Not spending any more than 5-8 minutes with them. This isn't a networking meeting. This is a Popeye. Because once you really get into working with a lot of referral partners, you want to be able to do 6 to 8 a day when you're dropping them off, going by and doing it in geographical order of where you live. Because like I'm set up in 4 quadrants here and I group everybody up according to the quadrants because I'm not going from one place to another. Naples is very big. It could take you 45 minutes in season to do something that's 12 miles. Welcome to hundreds of thousands of people who come down here, and their cars are all starting to come down now. So here in Naples, we say we don't have falling leaves that happen. We have the changing of license plates that litter our roads. And we also call it raining Bentleys. I've never seen as many Bentleys per capita as I do down here. Maseratis are nothing. Bentleys. They're enormous. It's crazy. We live in a very strange land. So as you are doing this, what we're doing for the members is for those of you who've seen, and I know Heather, I've seen you in the Canva document, we're putting together weekly real ideas based off of the week that is to focus on. This week is all about lighting. Last week was about fall safety prevention. So it's like every day there is something for you to be able to take the template, use that template, always make a copy of it. Yeah, I was going to say, she says, I keep forgetting to make copies. I make a copy of it and then add your personal touch to it if needed. Like I always add my logo. It's got to be branded for me. And then there's text along with hashtags. It is such a simple way for you to plan your marketing and your meta back office with. And so I have been peppering that in. I like to change things a little bit to make it more like me. Feel free to do that, but it's great inspiration. And this is really helping to elevate your membership and elevate what you're being offered as part of a PAC member. If you're not sure, I know that Gretchen did a video on this. And Rose, if you can take that video and put it in the members only, just as a refresher and pin that to the top, I think that would be really helpful for people. How many of you are part of your Chamber of Commerce or your networking niches, healthcare related, not BNIs? How many of you are part of National Aging in Place Council?
You know, it's really weird, Felicia. I've tried to reach out to our local National Aging in Place Council, you know, maybe once or twice a month for the last 6 months, and nobody's returning my calls.
Are you in Chicagoland?
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis. Oh, no, sorry. I was like, I just met
Midwest.
Yeah. Minneapolis.
Yeah.
I've had the same issue in our area.
I'll do, if those of you who would like to connect with folks in your market, do me a favor, drop it in the chat. What market? Just put NAIPC and your market, please. And I will connect you to the president of, Tara Ballman, president of National Aging in Place Council. And we will get you to the president of your organization, because sometimes, and I'm not making excuses, but sometimes our website's not working. So they're in the process of recreating an entire new website and for each chapter. I don't know when it's going to be done. because mine is not, our chapter's website is like, ugh. And so I will get you in contact with the folks in your market. My focus, which has taken us a little bit of a while, I would say, our focus here in Southwest Florida is on a fund the need for seniors. We have tons of resources down here. And what we were trying to do was we have about 145-ish senior professionals, right, that work within the market, marketers, whatnot in Southwest Florida. That number might be a little bit higher, but I'm just giving it as a range. And what we're doing is we were trying not to compete with them, because how does one join one organization when they've been part of another one for so long, right? So our fund of the need is for age in place options within the home to be retrofits to be done, or some sort of a fund the need. We have a lot of things that happen down here, such as the hospital says you can't go home without 24-hour care. They don't qualify to go into skilled nursing because they haven't had a 3-night hospital stay. But their loved one lives in Connecticut and can't come down for 48 hours. So what do? They go home unsafe because they don't have the funds to pay someone $30 an hour to go and be there with them. So this fund the need would help fill that gap. Does that make sense? Because there are a lot of people, there's a lot of people who do not have that ability. The other thing is retrofitting homes. Many people who moved into the area that you live, I live, paid under $100,000 for their home, or under $200,000 or $250,000. And now that home is worth $1 million. Let's just say $800,000. And they're retired now. They don't have the income to go and pay what someone would to go and sell their home and move into another home. They have to be very wise with their funds, right? And so their money is very tight. So there's a lot of that that's happening because the inflation rate has like driven all of this all crazy. So helping with someone who retrofitting their home for wheelchair ramps, DME equipment, maybe a motorized wheelchair that's not covered under your Medicare directive. These types of things we would be supporting. So that was just our focus. And it took us a little while to figure that out because we were trying not to compete with others in the area. Now, you may not have anything in your area right now. So it would be easy for you to say, hey, we'll just have a general fund, right? And you could do so many fun things for fundraising, which don't get me started because I love fundraising. Fundraising actually gets in the way of my work. For real. It's bad. Which I have a fundraiser today at the Waterside Shops. And they're like, when are you going to come to Kendra Scott? And I'm like, I can't go into Kendra Scott today because I'm going to buy everything. So I need to stay out of that store. But anyways, there's a lot of fun things that you could do that don't have, that have minimal effort. Now, with professional networking events, tons of them happen at senior living communities. Find out who's doing them and how you can get on the list, because that will help to strengthen what you're doing. And if you can partner with someone doing a CEU event, like we have the National Guardians Association. They meet once a month. It is always during my Naples Interagency luncheon, so I never am able to attend. But meeting the Guardians is a really big deal. And you can sponsor down here. I think you can sponsor the lunch for $250. Who wouldn't want to do that? To get in a room and be able to speak for 5 to 10 minutes on what you do and how you can help their clients. It's a great opportunity. So there's a lot of awesome opportunities out there. And then there's always CEU events, especially during Social Worker Month, which is every March. We always have a ton here. I'm sure you have something there where you can participate in a CEU event. The Chamber of Commerce does them for us down here too. And then what's going on with your real estate company and conferences? Are they talking about seniors? Is there an opportunity for you to do something to talk about seniors? I'm excited to have the opportunity to speak about that at our conference. It's the first time that they're being able to do that. So I'm really excited. And Paul and I will be talking um, about some really, and I can't release our topic yet because it hasn't been released. But we do have an amazing keynote that we're going to be bringing that we have to get done in a half hour. So I'm like, we got to make sure we both talk really fast. But we're excited about it and the opportunity to be bringing this to the forefront of a very large brokerage right now. And yeah, Heather, I'll miss you. It's going to be a lot of fun stuff happening, and there's so much happening at these real estate conferences. But the talk needs to have some sort of a talking track on seniors. I think the stat is every 8 seconds someone turns 65 years old. That's crazy. And we're not talking about it on a national stage. So I'm excited for that opportunity. So a couple of things to think of. This week, Google take a look online to see who is hosting an event in the next year. Do 2025 and 2026. Who's hosting an event in the senior market? And reach out to them to see how you can participate. And this way, you could start planning out your calendar for 2026 and not feel overwhelming. Now, we have something here through our Seniors Blue Book called Engaging Events. Last year, I think she did 62 of them. And they were about $150 a piece to join. No, I could not join all 60 something of them because I do not have the budget for that. But I did pick and choose which ones I wanted to do and which ones I wanted to speak at that were appropriate. And so I did a bunch of those for my Seniors Blue Book, but then I also do, I advertise with the Seniors Blue Book, and I'm part of the Senior Blue Book University, which I get to speak at the local hospital about senior scams, right sizing, working with capital gains, 1031 exchanges, Delaware statute trust. And I have the opportunity to speak on that at a high level. And that goes directly to the adult child or the senior themselves. And a lot of times what we see at a lot of these events is I get a lot of seasonal people that come in. I know I had a couple from Wisconsin, I had a couple from Chicago, and they have to sell their home so that they could move down here. So we get a lot of referrals off of that from just people coming in and asking questions and say, well, do you know someone like you who does what you do? And then that's where I'm able to provide some referrals to some of our partners here that participate with the PAC, which is really important. And when we are working on these events, creating marketing materials and talking points to help people at an expo is really important. Marketing materials that I like to do is rack cards. I do not supply downsizing guides at expos. What I do is a QR code where they have to register on my website, and then they can download the guide.
Do you feel like seniors are okay with QR codes?
They sure are, especially down here. They had no choice but to do that during COVID. 90% of our seniors do not eat at home. They eat out. We are a very big dining community. So that's something that's really important. And it's important to understand that as well. They understand how to use a QR code. At least they do down here, for sure. So that's something that you can do too. And one of the other things that you can do is I always like to do a brain game with a jar of different kinds of money, all crumpled up, dollars, cents. And I ask them to guess how much money is in there. It's a brain exercise. It's a great opportunity. And people are always like, why is there money in this jar? And you're like, well, you have to guess how much is in there. And they have to fill out a little piece of paper with all their contact info so I can tell who the winner is to get the money. So don't put money in that you're not afraid to get rid of. I normally do like between $30 to $45 and all different kind of crazy amounts. And I crumple the money up in all different ways, confuse them. I was like, you could shake it, you could do whatever you want, but you can't count it by taking it out. So you have to figure it out. So that's a lot of fun too. Any thoughts before as we wrap up?
I've seen people at events and trade shows that have had success with the spinning wheel thing.
Mhm.
Do you have an opinion about that?
I love it. I love the spinning wheel. They're very expensive, I find.
Oh,
So
really?
when I think they're expensive. They could be a few $100s for good ones that work.
Okay.
And
Okay,
so
because I
if
know
you don't have the budget for that, those are awesome. And they create a lot of buzz. You don't want to get the small one. You want to get one that's kind of big. And so you
okay.
just want to make sure you stay within your marketing budget.
Yeah. I was texting with Tina about her event yesterday, and she has a spinning wheel, so I can't wait to chat with her afterwards to
Mhm.
see if that was a success or not.
She had a great event. So I'm sure she would love that.
Mhm.
And there's so many things that you can do. I don't do the big X banners, the pull up banners. They fall. They
Mhm.
always fall when someone walks by really fast and woof, wind. I do the tabletop ones that are about 3 feet high. They fold up really well. They just go right down, and they are easy to store, but they have just a nice impact with it. But it all comes down to what your budget is for what you kind of want to do for that. And when you start out, if you have to start out small and get a bunch of balloons and kind of do things on your own, you'll figure out what you're going to do. You will. And if you have questions, that's what our mastermind is for. Put them in there. There are tons of suggestions that everyone has. So you can get some inspiration there. All right, my friends. Anything else today? Well, I hope you found this helpful. There's a lot of fun stuff happening. It is the fall. So I know in the other certain parts of the country, it's all about pumpkin spice and getting all that stuff out here. Here, the fall brings us cooler weather. And we can't wait for a little bit cooler weather. We've got a hot summer. So I hope you all have a fabulous day and message me, and I will introduce Heather, Cindy, Donna, Kristen to Tara. So I will make sure we can get you in contact with the right person in your area. So have a great day, everybody. All right, bye now.